Let's go to the Northern Territory now. The Attorney-General has defended his decision to campaign at the New South Wales election. While Chancey Paish, the government's only MP based in Central Australia, was in Sydney, cars were being set on fire, businesses trashed in Alice Springs. At the same time, more than 3,000 people attended a rally in Darwin, calling on the government to do more to address escalating crime. This after the stabbing death of a 20-year-old bottle shop attendant in Declan Laverty. Joining me live now is Damian Crook, his father. Damian, thanks so much for talking to us once again. How are you?
Yeah, I was great until you said that introduction. I got pins and needles in my arms, but no, I'm getting there. I find that silly thing to say, but yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine what you're going through right now, Damian, but I think it's important to talk to you this morning because your son was really at the front line. He went to work and did his job and he never came home, and that is not okay. How do you feel about the danger that he was put in a week since his death?
Oh, the danger that he was put in, but not just him. Every bottle shop worker in the Northern Territory, because our rules are different. We have a band register card, so everyone has to show ID. Now, if they get rejected because they're on the band register, then they're not allowed to have alcohol. So since then, for example, people who work in the industry have to say the same questions and that Declan had to say before that happened. And I feel sorry for those people. So yeah, it's horrible because they have to say, sorry, no, you're not allowed alcohol. And then numerous times, not just Declan, but he'd been had screwdrivers pulled on him, abused, physically abused, all the time. And it's not just him, like I said, everyone, unfortunately, in Darwin or the Northern Territory with that system, that's been happening. And he was fairly staunch in that way. He said to me that he didn't want to serve people alcohol if they were going to drive a car or something, or get a $10,000 fine, but then they go and hurt someone on the roads, you know. So he was just doing his job, and like everyone else is doing it at the moment. So it's it's pretty hard that happens. And like I said, it's the people who are doing it now. I mean, how are they feeling every time they ask that question, that they're worried that something's going to happen?
Damian, what did Declan talk to you about, some of the things that he was facing at work on a daily basis?
Oh, like I just said, it was always when he would deny people, it was always comments of racism, unfortunately, and saying that because he was doing his job, he would get yelled at, spat at, all the time, all the time. Like I said, you know, they all face it, unfortunately. You know, you got how many times you got into little altercations verbally, and then, like I said, one of his workmates had been so seriously hit that he hasn't come back to work. And like I said, it's not just Declan and Declan's store; it's happening all over the place.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Matt Cunningham, who you know, has been reporting on this almost daily. Alice Springs, we speak to Darren Clark on a regular basis. In your grief, and with some, I guess, clarity since your son's death, have you got an idea of what should happen in the Northern Territory, what government should do?
Honestly, I'm not a political person, and neither was Declan. But at the end of the day, something has to be done. I mean, I have ideas, of course. You know, everyone has their own ideas. But all I wish is that if the big people upstairs get together. I mean, I know there's always two sides in political debates. I understand that, but this one, I think everyone is on one side, but they just don't want to say it. Like I quoted in the paper, they've got to put their big boy pants on and get together and sort something out quick, because people are very, very scared in the Territory to go to work. I went to some BWSs to say, thank you, you know, for coming in, and they were crying. And people just don't want to work. People don't want. They're too scared. So, you know, we need to get something done. We need to get something done now to, and I know we're going to have extra security in that, and that will help, absolutely. But, I mean, you know, how long it takes, I can't tell you, and I don't really know what else to say about that. It's just we've got to do something. We've got to move, because I don't want to have, and I've said it before, I don't want to have anyone else in this position. You know, my family, Samara and her family, it's obviously, it's hard. So if we can do something that this doesn't happen again, unfortunately, like you said, things have got worse. I believe that because of what happened, things would have got better, but I don't understand why and how it's got worse.
Everything aside, Declan, at 20 years old, what a tragedy. Let's just finish on you telling us what kind of boy he was. What kind of son was he?
Oh, well, we lived together, you know. So he was my son. He was my best mate, and he was my favourite mate. You know, we had our favourite TV shows, but he was just a great kid. He loved his rap, you know. And like I was saying to Matt before, you know, we had this little quirky thing, because I'm in a fairly small unit, and every time, you know what kids are like when they wake up, they don't really talk, and we do he walks past and he does just a little head shake, and we both did that, and that's what I'm going to miss, you know. He was just a good kid, you know. All kids go through stuff in their thing, but the last 2 years he's been studying, he's been working almost full time, doing 30 to 36 hours a week, and his rap, he's you know, writing all his own songs. So, and he was a true friend to other people as well. If they, you know, if he was a friend and he was a true friend, he would help you out in any way. And an old soul. People said that from the start, even before this, when he was a baby. For some reason, he was just an old soul. And I'm going to miss that boy. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace, Declan and Damian. I know it can't be easy talking to me today, but we really appreciate you doing so.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Damian Crook there, live in Darwin.